So I went in my room and gathered some of my power necklaces. These are from different times in my life. This is the only one I made myself. I got this stone, this local woman. I think she cuts her own stones and then she makes jewelry out of them. But she had a basket of just polished stones, and I just fell in love with this one because it looks exactly like the ocean. In fact, I think it's called Ocean Jasper. And it's so gorgeous. And then I did a crochet chain. It's been quite a while, but I wore it out. It might have been around the time I had my store. Yeah, that's about the time I started making crochet jewelry. This one I know for sure. This was made by a friend of mine. A lot of these I got at craft shows from people that I knew and when I did craft shows. And this was from a really sweet friend of mine, Rain Tree Beads. I think she's still making jewelry too. But this I think was like a special stone that was cut by someone local, and just a beautiful, beautiful piece. And this was right after I had my heart attack. When I was in my 30s, I had a heart attack. And I was back to doing shows. I actually didn't miss that much time, honestly. It's kind of weird. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, that was, I mean, super power necklace for a long time, my heart attack power necklace. This one was made by another friend of mine. This is like sterling, and she cuts them and everything, and with the beautiful handmade clasp. And we did some sort of barter for this, as I recall. And I just love the colors. And I remember that summer was one of the summers that I did my, what I call my Mermaid tours, where I went to multiple states, did a bunch of shows in a row over, I think it was about 6 weeks. I went as far as North Dakota, to where my mom lives, and this was on my way back. I remember I hardly had any stock left, and I was exhausted for this. I remember I was just in love with it, and it just seemed like such a great symbol of my trip and my freedom and my, good power necklace for that year. But this one's, I think of as fancy because it, I think of it as fancy, so I don't wear it, day to day. This woman I know who made it, Christy, I think of this as my Bam Here I Am necklace. I always think of this when I want to feel like, yeah, you want some of this? Boom. I don't know. That's how I think of it. My Bam Here I Am necklace. I think it's from an old like French postcard or something. It's really cool, and it's really like chunky, and I love it. And then this one I remember on one of my trips to North Dakota where my mom lives. There's a big art fair there that people come from all around, called the Capital Affair. And I actually got to sell there I think 3 years total. It was really fun. But anyway, I got this one year when I was visiting there, like a stained glass beading on the edge. And it says this on the one side and then the back. So depending on my mood, like sometimes I'll wear one side or the other. Just an example of some of my past power necklaces. And I don't know, I wear them when I need some extra oomph. I don't know. That's kind of how I do my jewelry. Most of my jewelry has been either made by me or bartered at fairs or gotten from people I know or at special trips or events. And so my jewelry has a lot of special meaning for me, I guess. So yeah, let's make a necklace. Okay, I got my supplies, I think. Now for my basic bead chain tutorial, see my channel. I'll put a link in the description because I'm not calling this like a full-on tutorial, okay? Everything I'm going to show you here is available elsewhere on my channel, okay? So remember this necklace, this beautiful, I'm kind of have this other mermaid necklace someone gave me, and I thought I would use, it's not as cute and fancy, but it's also kind of big and chunky. But I still feel like it's powerful. Like, look, she's grabbing that ring, and I don't know. I kind of like it. She's like, I don't know. I'm going to use it. And then I thought I would do maybe a multi-strand, like 3 on each side. Still not sure exactly how I'm doing it. Figure this out as I go, I guess. I'm using this navy size 10 crochet thread. It's only got minimal amounts of cat fur on it. And then these wire needles. I have a 1 1/4 millimeter hook. That's my favorite. And then I picked, let's see. I'm so good at this, I think I'm just going to go with blue Fathis. This is my favorite, like peacock blue and this turquoise blue. And then these metallic silver kind of gunmetal colors that'll kind of, mimic the silver a little bit. I'm still not entirely sure how I'm doing this part. You can also see one of my other videos to see how to put on a clasp, which I am going to have a clasp on this. So I'm not going to go, again, I'm not going to go way into detail. I'm going to show myself doing it. And then I'll show you when it's done, how fabulous it looks and how powerful. Yay! Project! Hooray! Now here's my little diagram where I'm figuring out my lengths and everything. I include the size of my charm and then subtract it from my total length of 18 inches to get each side how long I want it. What I'm going to do is start from one end, go up to the clasp, and then go all the way around to the other end on each side. Now that I have both of the lengths finished, here's where I completely cannot remember how to put them back onto the mermaid. I guess I could have just looked at my notebook, but no. Smoke up, Becky. What the heck was I thinking? What was I thinking? That's not even right at the back, and then it goes down here, and then it goes back like this. No. Why? Okay, now that that's all sorted, I can put on my hardware or my jewelry findings. And again, check the description for links to the full detailed tutorials about this part. Now I start my endless messing around with the strands to get them to line up the way I want and still make sure they're long enough, which they're not quite long enough, so that was part of the issue, but I'm trying to find that sweet spot to attach the ends to that bent part to where it's going to hang the way I want and all the same colors aren't all bunched together. And I kind of had mixed results in the end, but it just seemed like I fussed with it endlessly and whatever. Like I said before, my strands were just slightly too short, so here's where I added a few extra chains to add about a ½ inch to each side. Again, see the previous tutorial for details. It worked pretty well in the end. Ultimately, they still kind of, the beads still kind of matched up in a way I didn't care for, but you know, it's imperfect, just like me, and that's great. I still have a lot of power, baby.